Welcome to a Design More Monday. There is a lot going on this Monday, as you are probably aware. It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, as well as Inauguration Day. So a lot of things going on. You may have worked, you may not have. So I just wanted to jump on here real quick, just give a few thoughts on today and kind of how we should act, what we should do moving forward. What does life look like going on from here? So it's not so much of a design heavy episode, even though it is a Design More Monday, but I think it is applicable if you are a designer, and really it's applicable in whatever you do. So I think there are two camps. Well, I don't want to say there's two. There's a lot of camps, but on a day like today, there's a lot of people who are really excited, really optimistic about the future, and believe in what is going to happen going forward, and that is going to be mostly good things. There's other people who are more skeptical. There's people who maybe are worried, concerned. I guess I shouldn't have said two camps. There's really people all over the place, the whole gamut, right? But I think it's important to, when there's these big events going on in the world, these big events that really, for the most part, other than voting, we don't really have a lot of individual control over. And in a lot of ways, a lot of the changes and decisions coming up won't necessarily impact us individually. They probably will in small ways, but probably not in huge ways. A lot of the time, it's more the local stuff that really impacts us. So I think it's important to keep some context and some perspective on a day like today, and to, instead of thinking more probably like outwardly what's going on out there in the world and how that's going to impact me, and I'm angry or I'm happy, sad, it's more important to look at yourself like, okay, well, there's always things going on outside of my control. And some years it's going to be stuff I really like. Some years it's going to be stuff I really don't like. But at the end of the day, the things that have the most impact on me, the things that have the most impact on my family, and the things that have the most impact on my local community are the actions that I take, right? It's the individual actions, decisions, things that you do that have the biggest impact. So I think it's important to keep that in mind. It's like, what can I do today? What decisions can I make to improve my life today, to improve the life of the people around me, and to improve the life of the community around me, right? Those are the things that you have the most control over. And those are the things that you can actually take immediate action on. Yeah, there's a lot of these big ideas that maybe we wish would happen. We can write a letter to our senators. We can tweet about, or send an X post about it, right? But is that really going to affect change, or is that just something that makes you feel better in the moment? Now, maybe writing your senators has more of an impact than I know. But a lot of the time, I think those actions are more almost like venting. You're just kind of getting your frustration out and your anger out, or your happiness out, what you're thrilled with, potentially. More often than not, it's negative, right? Usually it's things that you're not happy with. But it's often not things that you can immediately take action on. And really, what changes your life is the actions you take. We can have all these ideas, these thoughts, these plans. You can have all of these long to-do lists and these huge goals, but it's those little everyday actions which will actually make an impact. Nothing changes in your life until you actually make the choice to act on it and actually make that action. Actually commit to it and then do it, right? So you need to have things that are actionable. So again, you take it down to the local. The most local is just yourself. How can I make decisions and do things? How can I grow as an individual? How can I broaden my knowledge, my skill set, and use those things to take local action to improve first myself? And then, okay, next thing is your family, your home, your house. What actions can you take to improve that? How can you improve your home? How can you make it a better place to live? How can you improve your family? How can you improve the dynamic between whether it's you and your spouse or your kids? That's also a very local place where your actions have a huge impact. And then the next step out is your community. What actions can you take to improve your community? What actions can you take to maybe bring it together, maybe help other people, whatever the case might be? So these are the things that I think sometimes we can get a little bit distracted from. We can get distracted by social media and all these big things going on in the news and all these headlines and these things that are making you angry or happy or things that you think other people should be doing, right? When really you could just be distracting yourself from what you should be doing. And I'm as guilty of this as anybody. It's really easy to have, come on here and talk about whatever, just to distract myself from the things that I should be doing, distracting myself from reading that new book, distracting myself from trying out some new skill, distracting myself from practicing CAD, getting a new certification, who knows, all these different things that I could be doing to improve myself, improve my abilities as an engineer, improve my abilities as someone who makes these episodes, whether you call that a podcaster, a YouTuber, I don't really know, but just, improving my ability to discuss these topics with whoever my audience might be. So it's important, I think, again, on a day like today where there's a lot going on in the world out there, to just kind of flip that perspective around, look at yourself, no matter if what's going on out there is making you happy or sad or disappointed, scared, worried, absolutely thrilled, excited, can't hold it in, right? Like there's all of these different emotions that all these different people are feeling. But at the end of the day, look back at yourself and just kind of reevaluate. A lot of us made New Year's goals. How are you doing on those? What actions are you taking to meet those goals? What actions are you taking to just improve your immediate environment? Are you kind of already getting caught up in work and being busy, and your house is already getting messy, and your New Year's goals are already long gone, right? These are the things that you should be focusing on. They're going to have the most immediate impact. They're going to impact you personally, mentally, physically, spiritually. They're going to impact you professionally, all of these different things. So again, it's not a design episode per se, but we all have the ability to design our lives, right? And it's kind of a cliche thing to say, but it's also true, right? We get to decide what content we're consuming. We get to decide what content we engage with on social media, which then decides our feeds. And so like a lot of these things you can actually control. If you interact with and you search out and you find interesting, positive content that you can learn from and have, a better mental health or mental state interacting with, that's a good thing. You can design the habits that you have in your house, and when you clean things and when you make your bed in the morning, that you always put the dishes away maybe instead of letting them pile up in your sink. There's all these little things that seem really small individually, but as you start stacking them all together, it starts to build into just having a really well-designed life, really well-designed routine. And that's only going to help you personally, mentally, emotionally. It's going to help you with your relationships. It's going to help you at work. It's going to help you professionally, kind of keep your mind clean in a way, right? Because you're not thinking about all of these other things going on. You're able to focus, which, that's a tough thing, especially in the modern world right now. It's a big thing for me. I've been trying to get better at focusing and just having the ability to kind of block out everything else and focus on just your one task at hand. And that's so much easier if the rest of your life, is well organized and well controlled, and things are, what would be a good word for it? Things are understandable. Things are expected, right? You don't have just new things coming up all the time. You're having to jump on this fire, put out that fire and this fire. I think it's just really important. The more you can control what you can control, the more you will be able to engage relationally with people, professionally with your coworkers, with your customers, clients, all of those things. So that's all I have for today. Again, you may be having a great day. You may not be. Either way, I think what I'm saying is something that you can apply. I'm working on applying. We can all probably get better at it. So I'm going to leave it there. One quick announcement is I did create an X community. I tried it and it was actually pretty easy. It's called Design More, Despair Less, as you probably could have guessed. And the hope for that community is just a place for people to come and talk about engineering, talk about design, talk about different tools they use, a place for people to ask like legitimate questions and get legitimate feedback, have discussions, have productive arguments and debates, as not a place for people just to come and feel superior and all that and just show how smart they are. Not about all that, just about actually just learning something new and engaging with other people, seeing what other people are working on. So feel free to post stuff that you are working on. You can post your work. It's not necessarily a place just to promote what you're doing, but it's a place to have people engage with what you're doing. And please engage with what other people are doing. Provide feedback and thoughts and ideas. And hopefully it can just be a really positive community for people to go to and actually learn something new. So that's on X. It's a community and it's called Design More, Despair Less. It is restricted, so you'll have to ask to join and then I will let you in. And I think that is it for today. As always, remember, design more, despair less, and thank you for watching.